Let's begin the broadcast with some breaking inputs coming in. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah urging people of West Bengal to turn up in large numbers to exercise their right to vote, also assuring that CRPF has been deployed. Fear-free polls. Amit Shah urges to voters to vote without any fear, says the CRPF is going to stay even after polling. CRPF to stay for 2 months post-poll. It's a big statement coming in, assurance coming in from Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who has urged voters in West Bengal to cast their ballots without fear. Amit Shah has appealed to the public not to be intimidated by what he calls Didi's goons. So he's hitting out at the TMC, saying don't be intimidated by Didi's goons, assuring that security forces are in place to ensure a free and fair election. Listen in.
29 तारीख को बेखौफ होकर मत डालने चाहिए। दिल्ली के गुंडों की चिंता मत करिए। चुनाव आयोग ने चप्पे चप्पे पर सीआरपीएफ बिठाई और आज मैं बोलकर जाता हूं, चुनाव के बाद भाजपा सरकार आनी है, फिर भी 7 दिन तक सीआरपीएफ यही रहने वाली है।
My colleagues Ridhita and Shivam are both joining us in the broadcast with more details. I want to first go across to Ridhita. So for the second phase of polling, Amit Shah urging voters to turn up in large numbers without any fear. He says CRPF election के बाद भी रहेगी. That's the assurance coming in from the Home Minister.
Absolutely, you see that West Bengal have had a history of violence all throughout. Pre-poll violence, post-poll violence have been very prevalent in the history of Bengal's election, especially when it comes to this year's election. We are seeing that during the elections, it was a very violent-free election. This violent-free election, speaking about in 2026, is very remarkable because for the first time in the history of West Bengal's elections, we see 2026 have been scoring a less number in the number of violence that takes place. However, this now scares the people of Bengal that might be after the election there can be any such kind of post-poll violence, and for that very reason now Home Minister Amit Shah has assured the people and have guaranteed that they do not need to be scared about their voting rights. They can exercise that very freely. No intimidation will be happening, and for their security after the vote, after the elections, there will be CRPF jawans who will be deployed, and therefore it is a guarantee.
Voting for phase 1, and remember Amit Shah back then as well hitting out in the TMC and issuing a threat, had said gundon ko ulta latka dunga. He's now saying there's no need to be intimidated by Didi's goons. Come out in large numbers, exercise your right to vote. Let's once again listen to that statement, that message that came in from the Home Minister.
29 तारीख को बेखौफ होकर मत डालने चाहिए। दिल्ली के गुंडों की चिंता मत करिए। चुनाव आयोग ने चप्पे चप्पे पर सीआरपीएफ बिठाई और आज मैं बोलकर जाता हूं, चुनाव के बाद भाजपा सरकार आनी है, फिर भी 7 दिन तक सीआरपीएफ यही रहने वाली है।
Let's also bring in Shivam now. Shivam, CRPF ka bharosa is what the Home Minister is giving. He's also saying that even after the polls are over, the CRPF will be deployed there for 60 days, for 2 more months. So come out in large numbers.
Exactly, Swati, and BJP has taken this stance that the higher voting percentage basically refers to the demand for change. On 23rd of April, we have seen after the roadshow, Amit Shah, as you rightly mentioned, said that on 23rd of April, TMC goons did not come out, and that is the reason why the voter turnout was historic, was unprecedented. And this he also wanted that time also that on 29th of April, they should not come out as well. Not just Amit Shah, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also yesterday in a rally said that I would urge all those people who were creating, law and order situation that they should leave Bengal before 29th, because once we come to the power, we will hunt each and everyone down who has created the situation of law and order, who has created the violence. As Ridhita was rightly mentioning, 2021 post-poll elections, post-poll violence. We have all, seen how bloody it got, and that is why over 2.4 lakh personnel.
Right. Ridhita and Shivam, do stay on with us. We have Mr. Riju Datta of the TMC joining us in the broadcast. Your first reaction, Amit Shah says, Didi ke goond se, Didi ke gundo se dariye mat, and the CRPF will continue to be here even after elections.
नहीं ठीक है 2,40,000 CRPF 2,40,000 CRPF is on the ground. More than 1,400 preemptive arrests have been made for the second phase. Most of them Trinamool workers and Trinamool leaders who are going to do the election. The only thing left for Amit Shah and Election Commission is to bring in Rafale jets and Chinook helicopters in Bengal. They can do that also. We have no issues. We saw Nitin Navin campaigning for BJP in CRPF armored vehicles. Either the Election Commission is dead or they have become completely blind. But my question is this: after all this, on 4th of May, when Mamata Banerjee will get 200 or more seats, then what will Amit Shah say? Mr. Modi has said, "Mere ko vote dijiye, give me votes." Now, after 4th of May, when Mamata Banerjee will win 200 seats, will Pradhan Mantri resign from his seat? Will Amit Shah resign from his seat? Let me say this without mincing my words. When the result comes out on 4th of May, this is not going to be a loss and a defeat for BJP. It will be a direct loss and a direct defeat of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah.
Okay, you're saying it will be a direct loss and defeat of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. The Home Minister, on the other hand, says it's going to be a BJP government in West Bengal. Thank you, Riju Datta, for getting us your perspective, your reaction. So, here is the situation. BJP says it is going to be a Bharatiya Janata Party government in West Bengal. The TMC says it's going to be a humiliating defeat for the BJP. We spoke to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah in an exclusive conversation with us. He exuded confidence. He said that BJP is going to sweep the state of West Bengal. Listen in.
हमारे साथ गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जुड़ रहे हैं। गृह मंत्री जी, पहले चरण में आपने ये कह दिया है कि 100 से 110 सीटें मिलेगी,
110 से ज्यादा मिलेगी।
दूसरे चरण में जो है क्या लक्ष्य है, कितनी सीटें आपको मिलेगी?
अभी पोलिंग के पहले मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, परंतु हम प्रचंड बहुमत से भाजपा सरकार बनाएंगे।
आपके चार्जशीट से लेकर जो है आपके मैनिफेस्टो तक महिला सुरक्षा को प्राथमिकता दी गई है, और साथ में महिला सुरक्षा जो है कितना बड़ा मुद्दा है, क्योंकि
इतने भीड़ वाले रोड शो में भी महिलाओं की जो संख्या है वो बताती है कि महिलाएं सुरक्षा के लिए चिंतित हैं, अपने एजेंडे को वो सेट करना चाहती हैं। बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में माताएं बहनें वोट करें।
मेरा आखिरी सवाल, इस बार 2026 के चुनाव में जीत क्या आप लोगों की निश्चित है? क्या ममता का जो किला है वो ढहा देंगे इस बार? क्या ममता का किला इस बार ढह जाएगा? बंगाल में आपकी जीत निश्चित है?
अक्रॉस बंगाल भारतीय जनता पार्टी का समर्थन है। प्रेसिडेंसी में भी इस बार हम बहुमत प्राप्त करेंगे।
धन्यवाद। तो गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी जैसा कि कह रहे थे कि जीत उनकी निश्चित है, और इस बार जो है पश्चिम बंगाल में जीत बीजेपी की ही होगी।
All right, we have some breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. It's last day of campaigning in West Bengal ahead of second phase polling, and violence was reported on the last day of campaigning as well. Clashes reported between the BJP and the TMC workers. Now, BJP's allegation is that TMC workers attacked their rally and their vehicles were vandalized by TMC workers. TMC MP's vehicle targeted by BJP workers. So this is a war of words, in fact, between the BJP and the TMC. BJP alleges TMC supporters behind vandalizing of vehicles and attack on the rally. TMC, however, hits back with counter allegations. Let's go across to Ridhita, who continues to be with us on the broadcast on the last day of campaigning as well. Not just war of words, but clashes reported as well.
Well, absolutely, we see that the first phase of elections have taken a conclusion, the second phase of elections are voting, and the last day of campaigning is today. By this time, we already see that today in Arambagh, the General Secretary of the Trinamool Congress Party, Shri Abhishek Banerjee, was all about to set to address the public. It was a public meeting there, and the Member of Parliament of the very area of Arambagh, Mitali Bagh, was travelling to that very area. While in the road, her car was vandalized. Also on social media, Facebook, she has made a claim that it was the BJP goons who have attacked her car, and and it was vandalized. The glass of the car was broken. She was also affected. She was hurt. Glasses came flying through towards her, and then later she had to be carried by a stretcher to the nearby hospital. But this now has a background where we get to understand that yesterday there was a clash that was led out between both the BJP and the Trinamool Congress, where the first Trinamool workers have attacked the BJP workers. Their cars were affected. It was broken, vandalized, and also a number of injuries of the Bharatiya Janata Party's workers were counted yesterday, which nearly counted about 15. Today, in a repercussion to that, it was a revenge attack, you can say, that was taken up while the Mitali Bagh, the member of parliament of the Rambagh district, was travelling for attending the meeting or the public meeting of the General Secretary of Trinamool Congress, Sri Abhishek Banerjee. In her, while in the road, she was attacked. Her car was brought into attack by the BJP.
Coming in from Mitali Bagh. Ridhita, do stay on with us. Let's listen into what Mitali Bagh had to say.
নেতাগুলো এসে আমার কাজ আমার এখানে আমার গোটা কারণ ও দাদা গো আমার গোটা গায়ে কাজ গো আমার গোটা চলে আমার গোটা চলে হোটেলে আছে তারা সে আমার গোটা শরীরে ওগো কাছে পিছু হয়ে গেছে গো আমার কি অপরাধ আমার কি অপরাধ আমার কি অপরাধ গো আমার কি অপরাধ আমার কি অপরাধ আমার কি অপরাধ বিজেপির বাইরে থেকে যত নেতারা
Let's go back to Ridhita. Ridhita, we just heard Mitali Bagh, who says it's not just that the car was vandalized, but she suffered injuries as well. She says she has bruises all over her body. Now, the question is what action is being taken to ensure that, these clashes do not occur, especially on voting day, which is the last phase, the second phase.
Absolutely. You see, on the first phase of elections in West Bengal, it was very sensitive area that went under elections, especially the areas like Malda, Murshidabad, Kuch Bihar, which are very prone to violence, those who went under elections. And keeping in consideration of that, this time Election Commission has been very speculative about the sensitive areas, and hence extra deployment of the CAPF officers have taken place in West Bengal. This time also, as the phase 2 elections approaches, we are sure of the sensitive areas, which is Bhangur, South Chhabbish Pargana, Sundarban areas, Diamond Harbour areas. These are also under extra deployment of the CAPF officers. We are going to see, as the Election Commission says, that it is going to be a fair and free election without any intermediation, and also people are going to be very safe and secure while they exercise their voting rights. But ahead of the elections only, we have seen last night also a war had been led out between the workers of both Trinamool Congress and the BJP workers in Jagodal, where the MPs were also involved in the very area. But today morning, as we get to understand, all the arrests were done, identifications were done very smoothly. It just took a matter of 6 hours where the identification took place. Also in this case, we get to understand quick responses happening from the Election
On one hand, you have the Union Home Minister saying that this should be bhai mukt as far as polling is concerned. He's also giving the assurance that CRPF has been deployed. There's no need to be intimidated and threatened by these goons. On the other hand, TMC hitting back, saying it's going to be a humiliating defeat for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And amid all this, clashes being reported on ground. Ridhita and Shivam, thank you very much for getting us the details. We're moving on now. Yet another setback for Team Kejriwal, because the Rajya Sabha chairman has allowed merger of the 7 rebel AAP MPs with the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, the 7 AAP rebel MPs have been listed in BJP's Rajya Sabha list. What does that do to Rajya Sabha tally of the Bharatiya Janata Party? It takes the Rajya Sabha tally of Bharatiya Janata Party from 106 to 113. So it's all official now. These are ex-Kejriwal aides, BJP, who have now become BJP Rajya Sabha MPs. So the updated Rajya Sabha list confirms the merger which has been allowed by Rajya Sabha chairman, the merger of rebel AAP MPs with the Bharatiya Janata Party. The 7 MPs have formally now joined the BJP, which increases the Bharatiya Janata Party's strength in terms of numbers in the upper house, which has increased now from 106 to 113. Let me go across to my colleague Niyamika. Niyamika, yes, there is a war of words happening at the moment, but that aside, look at the numbers of the Bharatiya Janata Party as far as Rajya Sabha is concerned. It increases from 106 to 113 after this merger has been made official.
Well, yes, indeed, it is a challenge for the entire opposition as well. Because if we talk about the numbers, then already the way in which this entire opposition is doesn't seem to be united, and they don't have that much of numbers in the upper house. Now again, there is a setback not just for the Aam Aadmi Party, but for the entire opposition parties in the Rajya Sabha. And as we have seen that how the merger has been been allowed on the part of the Rajya Sabha chairman, as now the official list is out. There is a notification which is being released by the Rajya Sabha, and all the 7 rebel MPs of the Aam Aadmi Party are now a part of the BJP. And for that reason, it is we have seen that how the Aam Aadmi Party has now just gone up to the level of having 3 MPs in the upper house, while on the other side the tally of the BJP has increased. So that is the only reason why we have seen that how the Aam Aadmi Party is also attacking the BJP. In fact, the leader of the house from the Aam Aadmi Party side, Mr. Sanjay Singh, he had also given a letter to the chairman of Rajya Sabha demanding that there should be a disqualification of all the 7 MPs who had they have left the Aam Aadmi Party. However, as per the rules, as there were the 2/3 MPs who have switched the side, so their disqualification cannot be allowed, and that is the only reason why this merger has given a go ahead on the part of the chairman of Rajya Sabha. But the politics had started over this entire matter. Recently also we have seen that how in fact the Congress Party, which is a part of the India bloc, which is a part of the opposition, they have also criticized the Aam Aadmi Party, saying that it has only proven that it is the B team of the BJP.
All right, Niyamika, thank you for getting us the details. And now we do know the reasons why this happened, why the MPs, the rebel Aam Aadmi Party MPs decided to switch sides. Of course, these leaders have started speaking to media, have been putting out their own versions. Vikramjit Sahni spoke to Times Now, and he hit out at the Aam Aadmi Party after being labelled a traitor by Team Kejriwal. Now, Mr. Sahni confirms that yes, there was a key meeting that took place with Arvind Kejriwal. He says Raghav Chadha was sidelined. This and a lot more. Take a look at the conversation.
This all started with the architect of AAP in Punjab, Sandeep Pathak and Raghav Chadha, especially Sandeep Pathak, who was very much involved at the grassroots level in selecting the candidates, giving the tickets, and then we had a thumping sort of majority of 94 MLAs. But then after Swati Maliwal debacle, whatever happened, then these 2 gentlemen, MPs, Sandeep Pathak especially, was so frustrated that he said, now I don't know what wrong I have done and why I have been sidelined. And Raghav Chadha also was moved out of Punjab. That was the start. And then he also took a bit backseat, because you get sort of disillusioned and dissatisfied, demotivated.
Let's now take a look at the number game and how it all plays out in Rajya Sabha, and how BJP's strength goes up from 106 to 113. Now, this is before the rebellion and after rebellion. Aam Aadmi Party has 10 MPs before the rebellion. After the rebellion, of course, 7 of them have switched to BJP. So, AAP is left with 3 MPs. Now, total strength of Rajya Sabha is 244 MPs. Let's take a look at what has happened for the Bharatiya Janata Party in terms of numbers, in terms of their strength. Before AAP rebellion, BJP had 106 MPs, and now after rebellion, after the official merger has happened, BJP's strength has increased from 106 MPs to 113 MPs in Rajya Sabha. So BJP's position has been strengthened as far as the upper house is concerned. So Vijay Wadettiwar's assessment is that the shooting is a result of public anger against Donald Trump, against his administration. And he says there are similar sentiments in India as well. That particular statement of Vijay Wadettiwar hasn't clearly gone down well with the BJP, that is hitting back at the Congress party, saying this is nothing but hate politics. The BJP digging up the past, saying there are a lot of controversial statements that have been given by Congress leaders in the past. BJP is highlighting that and hitting out at the Congress. Listen into the reactions.
Congress's senior leader Vijay Wadettiwar, who has made many controversial comments about Operation Sindoor, about why a 15 lakh rupee missile was used to save Golden Temple, who has given clean chit to Pakistani terrorists in 2611, now goes beyond and makes the most obnoxious comment. He says that the shooting attempt at Donald Trump, President Trump, was justified in America, and that there is a similar feeling in India, but Indian government does not know because there are no protests here, but the feeling is the same, and he justified it.
देखिए, बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है जिस तरह का बयान कांग्रेस का नेता दे रहा है। कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष प्रधानमंत्री को आतंकवादी कह चुके, और एक नेता कांग्रेस का कह रहा है कि भारत में भी आतंकवाद की घटना जैसे ट्रंप के साथ हुई वैसे होगी। क्या मजाक है? देश के लोगों को ये कहीं से स्वीकार नहीं इस तरह की भाषा। क्या कांग्रेस आतंकवाद के लिए और हमले के लिए उकसा रही है? राहुल गांधी को इसके लिए माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
So while the Congress leader Vijay Wadettiwar is drawing a parallel, its ally Samajwadi Party has distanced itself from the stand taken by the Congress leader. Listen to the reaction coming in from Samajwadi Party.
समाजवादी पार्टी इस बात में विश्वास रखती है कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे में हम भारत सरकार के साथ खड़े हैं। जब हमसे हमारी राय मांगी जाएगी तो हम सदन के अंदर और उच्च कमेटी के अंदर हम अपनी राय दे देंगे। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे में समाजवादी पार्टी भारत सरकार के साथ में, जो भी है भारत सरकार में, हम उसके साथ खड़े हैं। ये स्वर कहीं से नहीं जाना चाहिए कि भारत की पॉलिटिकल पार्टी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दे में अलग अलग स्वरों के साथ बाहर जा रही है। ठीक भी नहीं है। देखिए, ठीक भी नहीं है। वहाँ पे क्या हालात हैं, कैसे रिपब्लिकन और डेमोक्रेट्स आपस में लड़ रहे हैं, ये जांच की बात है। FBI काम कर रही है। भारत में क्या स्थिति है वो हम लोग राजनीतिक तौर पर उसको सुलझाएंगे। भारत और अमेरिका का इन चीज़ों में कोई भी कहीं भी कंपैरिजन नहीं है। अभी हम अपनी डेमोक्रेसी को बचाने के लिए लोग।
And with that, we're slipping into a very short break. News and updates will continue. Stay on with us here on Times Now.